For more on this, let's bring in NBC News legal analyst Misty Maris. So Stephanie left it there saying the jury gets to decide what they believe. You have really two key witnesses now taking the stand. The au pair, who completely flipped, saying, yes, he did it. This was all an elaborate plot. I was involved in it, but he orchestrated it. And then the defendant himself. When you look at his testimony that started yesterday, going all the way into today, how does it match up compared to the forensic evidence?
Well, I think that Banfield really sunk himself when he's talking about the last moments with his wife, that she is speaking to him. Well, that does not match up at all with what we heard from the medical examiner. She was stabbed 7 times. So now on cross-examination, prosecutors locked him into this timeline that he saw her stabbed 2 times, but that means there were 5 other stab wounds while they're talking, as prosecutors called it, chatting. So this goes beyond just catching him in this inconsistency where it would be impossible for Christine to be able to speak in those moments. But it's also something that will shed, basically on the jury, they're going to be thinking, if you're lying about this, what else are you lying about? And possibly just discount his entire testimony.
Another thing that really stood out to me today was yesterday when he was on the stand and his defense attorney, John Carroll, was asking him questions. He talked about the idea of the accusation against him being absurd, and he said his relationship with the au pair, Juliana Perez Magalhaes, wasn't that serious, that they'd been together maybe 6 to 8 weeks. That got brought up pretty intensely by the prosecution today, and she brought up multiple letters of him, in essence, professing his undying love for Juliana, and was like, really? What did you make of that? Is that just another hole? What do you think the jury will think of that?
I mean, I think that you had him on the stand kind of parsing out how he felt about the au pair during the course of their relationship. Well, I didn't really love her. I might have said I love her, but I didn't really. Sure, we talked about baby names. She wanted to talk about baby names. And then he fell in love after he felt that she had saved him on that horrible day where his wife was killed. So he was creating this narrative that, Ellison, was simply not believable. And I really do think the jury is going to see through that.
In terms of tomorrow, right, well, at some point the jurors will get jury instruction, and then there are going to be closing arguments from both the defense and the prosecution. How long do you think that will take? Is there a chance the jury is deliberating on this at some point tomorrow?
Yeah, so in the morning, there's a charging conference. That means that both sides will agree on the jury instructions. Then we'll have the closing arguments, and you're going to see these stories weave together on both sides, putting all of the pieces together to tell their narrative. And of course, we do have testimony from the defendant, which is really unusual. I think you're going to see the jury get this case tomorrow. No, court is ending a little bit early tomorrow. So how long will they deliberate? We don't know, but this case is almost to its conclusion.
If you are on that defense team, are you just kicking yourself for putting him on the stand, or do you think there was some sort of legal strategy that maybe helped their case?
The only reason to put him on the stand is to have a counter narrative to what the au pair testified to. That's the only story the jury heard. But I think you're having a lot of angst if you're the defense attorney today after that testimony, which truly did not come off credible. And that's what the jury is going to focus on. We should point out, though, that it is the defendant who ultimately makes that choice. The lawyer gives advice. But is there a world where Banfield said, I'm testifying?
It'll be so interesting to watch. Misty Maris, I mean, just so many loops and turns in this case, and you have walked us through all of it. We appreciate you tonight, and I'm sure we will talk again tomorrow. Thank you so much, Misty Maris.